Good evening, good evening, good evening, ladies and everyone joining us. It's Tuesday. It's not the first Tuesday of the month. However, it is the first episode of Tuesday Talks with Tonia for 2022. Woo, that could be a tongue twister. But welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for taking time out of your busy evening, especially you parents who have children and you spouses who have duties and everybody else, we have our lives and there's things going on, but you took the time out to join us tonight. And tonight's topic, I'm going to jump right in, is going to be about healthy after the holidays. So I call it, during the holidays, I gain COVID cushion. I don't call it COVID weight. I say COVID cushion. Just add a little bit more cushion to what I already got. So we're going to be talking from that perspective, healthy after the holidays, retraining your body and your mind, because it really is a mind thing. When I think about, how we've gotten to where we are from a health perspective, it's easy. Leandra and I were talking about it one day about, when you're out and about and you're hungry, you just stopping at a drive-through and then you get these cravings and it's just like, I want something to eat. And most of the times when you're going out to eat, it's not really healthy. A lot of times we're not picking the healthy options. Hey, LaWanda. And so it's really about a mental thing. It's like, I'm hungry, but instead of that burger, what can I get? And so with all of those things, over the holidays, you had Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's. You typically pick out on those days because it's a holiday and it's a celebration and everybody's together and you got all this good food because it's tradition. Tradition is, you cook a lot of food on these holidays. You cook the hams and the turkeys, which I don't eat either, by the way. I usually cook ribs or I cook whatever I have a taste for because I don't eat ham and turkey. So I'm not the traditional type holiday eater. Like I really have to think about my menu, like, what am I going to have this year? And then you have the cakes and you have the pies and you have the cookies and the alcohol. The alcohol has a lot of sugar in it. And so all of those things combined, and then think about, we've been in the house for so long because of the pandemic. We're not able to get out and move as much, or we choose not to get out and move as much. And so when January comes around, it's like, okay, I got to get my life together. Because then my mind goes to swimsuit season, beach season, summer's coming up. Like I need to be fine when I hit that beach. And so it becomes, a battle of the mind. And so in January, typically I always do what we call through our church is a Daniel fast. And the Daniel fast is okay, but when you're used to it and your body gets used to it, to me, it's less effective. And so I don't want to just be doing it just to be doing it. So now I'm more intentional about what I'm doing. And it's still fasting in a way, but I'm choosing to give up things that really mean something to me or are a struggle for me to give up. So instead of giving up all meat and sweets and all of that, Leandra and I and a couple other folks have decided, we're going to give up things like, we're going to have a dry January. No alcohol. We're going to stay away from certain meats. We're going to stay away from fast food. And so we're going to stay away from Starbucks. That's a big one. We're going to stay away from Starbucks for the whole month of January. And for somebody that's used to having 3 days a week, Leandra probably has it 5 days a week. That's a sacrifice. So that's a fast indeed. And so on top of that, instead of a resolution, we've decided to recommit to being healthy. And so we've joined Planet Fitness. They had a special, $10 a month. And so we have been holding each other accountable. And I think this is January 11th. We've probably been to the gym probably 9 out of these 11 days. And I think, if you can get an accountability partner, somebody to go alongside you, because it's easy for us to say, okay, I'm gonna do this. But then it'd be days you be like, I don't feel like getting up. It's cold outside. It's raining outside. Whatever excuse we can come up with, or I'm busy, or it got too late, or it's too early in the morning. Like, I'm not an early morning person at all. And so we have been going like during lunchtime. We both have flexible schedules that we're able to do it like during lunch, or we go early afternoon. And so whatever you find that works for you, find an accountability partner. And I'm gonna let Leandra chime in, because and what we did was I finally weighed myself yesterday, because I wanted to know a starting point, and not necessarily so I can watch the weight drop, but just so I know where I'm starting from. And so, that was the biggest thing for me, because I've done it before. Like during COVID last year, when I actually had COVID, I lost 21 pounds in a week, and it scared me, but I was kind of glad. But I was like, I don't want to be sick to lose this weight like this again. Like, I want to lose it like the natural way. I want to, eat healthy, be mindful of what I'm putting into my body, but also be intentional about exercising, because as I get older, my legs popping and creaking, and my back be hurt. I'm like, oh no, I can't. Yeah, I can't function. I can look in the camera and see all this on my neck. I'm like, no. So, Leandra, do you want to share a bit about what we've decided to do for January, but not just January, because it's going to be a lifestyle, because anything you do for 21 days or more becomes a habit. And
That's
so
right.
if we could be consistent with this can become a new lifestyle for us. So I'll let you chat about it a little bit, Leandra.
Yeah, so just to share, I'll be honest with you guys. This was it was more for me mind over matter. I think sometimes we all say, okay, new year, new me. In the new year, I'm going to be healthy, or I'm going to get healthy. I think I put that on my vision board every year.
Me too.
But this is probably the first time that I have been extremely committed. When you talk about, so giving up alcohol isn't really a big deal for me. I can do it, say, okay, I'm gonna give it up for a month. It's no issue. It's not like I do enjoy an occasional glass of wine or a beverage, but it's not something I have to have. Now,
Right.
the Starbucks, on the other hand, is an addiction. I am literally to the point that one of my colleagues today at work, he called me for something else. But the first thing he said to me was, are you still giving? Are you still on your Starbucks fast? I mean, so everybody at work knows, like, she drinks Starbucks. And when I said I was giving up Starbucks, they were like, oh my gosh. So I said, yeah, I'm 11 days in. And he kind of made a joke, said, that's okay. I went to Starbucks the other day and I thought about you. So I drank for both of us. I said, well, okay. But in terms of the food, because of my lifestyle, and I think Tonia can relate, because I don't know who eat out more, it's Tonia or I. We both eat out quite a bit. And I'm talking about from breakfast to lunch. Like, I'm gonna stop and get breakfast before I get to work. Then I've got lunch, eating out for lunch. And then 9 times out of 10, I will eat out for dinner too, because so it seems like to me, the older I've gotten, my palate has kind of changed. I don't like the things that I grew up on. So like the soul food stuff, because my mother is a cooker, and my mother will cook the fried chicken and the rice and gravy and the macaroni and the cheese and the cornbread. Like, that's what she cooked. But the older I get, I don't want that. And so I eat differently. Like, I like a lot of stir fries and things like that, where she doesn't. So and plus, by the time I get home, if I've got to cook, it's easier for me to DoorDash or Grubhub before, while I'm trying to get my kids settled, than it is for me to go in there and cook. So it's been getting healthy in a whole bunch of ways. My my bank account is probably going like, well, is she sick? Is she still here?
Right.
Because I have swiping. Like, I know the people at Wendy's in the morning passing them. I go to Wendy's or I go to Starbucks. So my lunch. Diablo's probably is wondering, where am I? And so Tonia and I committed that, we both, I want to grow old to see my children, grow up. And I know that I do have some I'm not going to say necessarily, let's just, I eat is unhealthy. I like all the good stuff that's bad for you. I love potatoes and bread, and I'm going to eat all the bread. I'm the one who goes to Logan's just for the bread. Like, I ain't got to eat the food. I want the bread and the butter. So to give up bread, biscuits, I love biscuits. To give up bread, and the ultimate kryptonite for me is French fries. I'll eat French fries when there's nothing else to eat in the world.
Yep.
So for me to give up French fries, that was huge. I gave up bread. That was huge, except for whole grain. So Tonia and I think we both started, like, we would send each other meal ideas. And the key for me to, one, not spending money and to eat healthy has been meal prepping. So I have been meal prepping on Sundays. And this week I decided to eat all seafood. So my dinner this eat, and I'm trying to do better about what time I eat too. So I have already eaten dinner, Tonia.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I had my salmon and my vegetables, and I got a little bit of my water left. Let me tell y'all, because they talked trash to me today at work about my jug. So when I should have been at 2:00, I was still at 12:00. And so they have been holding me accountable at work with the water. She's like, Miss Leidra, you behind. I said, okay, I'm going to catch up right now. So I literally chugged from 12:00 to 2:00. And then I just been drinking. So I got a little bit left. And then going to the gym. So I didn't go yesterday. Just again, life. And that's how it happens for me. And plus, there was an article I shared with Tonia where the lady says, just like you plan to go to work, plan to do something that's self-care, even if it's just 30 minutes. So even this evening, I put my bag was in the car with my clothes and my shoes. I said, okay, I'm going to go by the gym. Even if I just do the treadmill for 30 minutes, I'm going to go by before I go home. Well, as life happens, work happens. I left work late, had to get home to the kids, so I didn't go to the gym. But when I hang up with y'all, I'm going to finish this homework with this young lady. I'm going to comb this other one's hair. And thank God Planet Fitness doesn't close. I'm going to Planet Fitness for 30 minutes to an hour this night here, because that would have been 2 days that I missed. And like Tonia said, we got to hold each other accountable. And Tonia went yesterday. We were supposed to go together. And because I couldn't go, she still went on and went. And so I'm so proud of her for doing it. But ladies, just little things like that. I think we both have just made those little small changes, which may not seem like a lot to some, but it's huge for me when it's nothing for me to take my phone and order something to eat. I have not spent any money really on fast food since the new year. I think Tonia and I went and worked out one day. We did tropical smoothie. So we had smoothies, and I had a flatbread chicken sandwich. Other than that, I have not, like, I know my account is like, is she all right? So that's just kind of where we are. And my goal is to continue it, not just for January, but and so I don't know, when people say, well, do you have a number in mind in terms of losing weight? I don't know necessarily the number as much as I want to be able to walk and not be tired. I want to be able to bend over and not winded.
Uh-oh, did you freeze? Did she freeze?
She sure did, with a smile.
She froze cute.
She froze up like this.
Yes. But to add to what she was saying, so water has been a big thing for us. You back? You froze for a minute, but you froze cute.
No,
Javonna said you froze with a smile.
Like, you guys froze. Yeah, so just keep us in prayer. Keep us in prayer. Keep encouraging us, do little check-ins. Please hold me accountable, check in and say, how y'all doing? You still going to the gym? You still eating right? You know, you still drinking your water? Please keep me accountable. So,
and to add to that, the water is a big piece. So for me, I'm not really a water drinker. I mean, I drink it because I know I have to, but typically in any given day, I could go a couple of days without water. And so I'm really having to be intentional. So we have these gallon jugs and it says you're supposed to really drink a gallon of water a day. And so we'll fill these jugs up and it tells you at a certain time you should be at a certain number of bottles of water. So for me, a gallon in the jug I have, I think is like 5 or 6 bottles. The last couple of days I've been struggling to get down 4. And so, but I'm doing better than what I have been. And it's a process. It's not anything that is going to be easy to come by or overcome, because we didn't get here overnight. So it's going to take, time to reverse and retrain your brain, retrain your thinking, retrain your habits. The water piece for me, I'm intentional. It's just, slowly. Yeah, she has her jug. So I have 2. Yeah. I have a slimmer one and then I have a really big pink one. And so, yeah, it's so intimidating though. Sometimes I have to switch up because it can be really intimidating when you see that. You're like, there's no way I'm getting ready to drink all this water. But you have, it starts you off, I think, at 7 and it ends like at 8 p.m. or maybe 9 p.m. And so I think that's a big part of it, because you really want to flush toxins out and you really want to, cleanse all the stuff, especially for me, especially if you eat shrimp. So one of the personal trainers I had last year, he said, if you eat a lot of seafood, a lot of fish, a lot of shrimp, you really need to drink extra water to get rid of the iodine and the things in your body. And so, yeah, Leah, I see your face.
Come on, meal prep seafood week.
So
I wish you had told me that before I said I was doing all seafood this week. Because look, I done had that tilapia. I had the tilapia today for lunch. Yesterday I had the crab cake and the shrimp cake thing and salad. But shucks, I might have to.
But I've been on seafood the whole time. I've been on seafood. The only time I had anything other than seafood was one of your meal preps when it was the chicken and rice. Other than that, I've been on seafood. It's either been shrimp, tilapia, salmon, or crab cakes. That's all the meat I've had. And I think one day I had bacon because MJ was like, I want some bacon and eggs. And I was like, okay.
That's right.
So, but other than that, it's been seafood for me since the new year. And so it's a little challenging. And then the other thing we're finding too, eating healthy is expensive. I went to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'm going to put it in the chat.
Ma'am.
Wait a minute.
It's very expensive.
I can't say this online. I got to put this in the chat.
It's crazy to see. And Leandra and I had this conversation. To me, that's a way for them to keep us the way we are. Because if you really look at the demographics of who's healthy and who's unhealthy, typically the people that are unhealthy are the poor and the Blacks and, people that are less fortunate. If you look at most of your more affluent folks, you don't see them at the stores that we shop at. They're at the fresh markets. They're at the, stores where the healthy Whole Foods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We don't, and we can't afford it. Like we go to the store. Literally,
I saw what she wrote on the
you
bottom.
saw what she said. I mean,
literally.
On the bottom. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Like, and it's sad because you really are trying to do your best, but from a financial standpoint, it's like, do I pay a light bill or do I buy healthy groceries? Or do I go to McDonald's where I can get a whole meal for $5 or KFC? So that's why it's a cycle. And so it's not just a health thing, it's a financial thing. Financially, most of us can't afford to eat healthy all the time, every day. Because unless you have, let's say, public assistance, or unless you have, sugar daddies or somebody that could pay for these groceries, I don't know, but you can spend the same $100 unhealthy. You'll have probably a quarter of that if you're eating healthy. And that's sad. That should not be.
It's a system.
It is a system.
It's all a system.
Yeah.
It is a system, and it is designed to keep us where we are and to develop health, issues and everything like that. High blood pressure,
right?
Diabetes, different things.
Which drives us to the doctor who gets paid. Which drives us to pharmaceuticals.
Processed foods.
Yeah. Yeah.
Processed foods mess with our pancreas.
Yeah.
Which that's one of the things, during the whole weight loss thing. And just like, not necessarily just a weight loss thing, but just, changing eating habits. Processed foods is one of the biggest things to cut out. And red meat for African Americans, because it doesn't process well in our colon.
Right.
So, and with red meat, I learned that, and not only that, it messes with our cholesterol level. So, just cutting that out, processed foods, water, that water thing is a big piece. You're supposed to drink the equivalent to your body weight in ounces.
Yep.
I don't know how successful I am with that, but I mean, I did it one day. I drank the gallon. I was peeing like a whale, but but it works though. It does work. So yeah, absolutely. You're right about that. It's just, and look at the restaurants and where they are. Yeah. And food is extremely expensive when you want, it's just like, even with natural hair hair is expensive.
Yes.
Versus putting a relaxer in your hair and sticking that junk back with some gel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people don't understand that. But those things like that, anything that you're going to the natural, to the original state, or, eliminating certain substances and waste from our bodies, it's gonna cost us. But I think the way of living is the biggest thing. If you start to create that habit, like you said, y'all been going to the gym regularly, that accountability partner is a big thing. And I sure hope these accountability partners really following through, not just saying, did you go today? Because I went earlier knowing they ain't went nowhere, because I had an accountability partner like that. You know what I'm saying? Just saying, what, Jay, did you do this? And she wasn't doing nothing. I said, well, why you ain't been? You been? Because you ain't been with me.
Right. Yeah. And that's one thing about Leisure and me text probably 50 times a day. We're on the phone probably 3 or 4 times a day. And then again, we're at the gym together. And so we literally are. And then, me and my sister live together. And so she's the other piece, because she goes to Planet Fitness as well. She just goes to a different one. But, she's like, you going to the gym today? And then the days that she's not, she's like, hey, I'm walking the neighborhood. Like one day, I didn't go to the gym. We walked our neighborhood, which has a lot of hills and stuff like that. So, it's good to have multiple people that know the journey you're on, the track you're on, and they'll be like, hey, you're getting it from different people. So that's also a help.
The other thing to keep in mind too, Tonia, is the fact that most of us, I guess, I'm going to assume, I can't assume ages, but we're over 30, over 40, somewhere in that range. And, your metabolism slows down. So
girl, I ain't a day over 17. What you talking about?
Girl, you better do it then. You better do it. You better do it. But that metabolism, it slows down. It slows down. Another thing that's important for us is to check your blood type, and look, it'll tell you what foods you should or shouldn't eat. Yeah, there is a book, and it's real. The doctors say that that you should do it. I'm sorry, I had a call come through. The doctor said that you should do it, and there's a book called Eat Right for Your Blood Type. But I knew about it before that book, and then when the book came, I was like, oh, cool. But for us, just as a culture, and just people, period, and women, because we have more fat cells than men. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not. Yeah. And our bodies are designed to stretch because we have babies.
Exactly.
So, you know what I'm saying? So generally what happens is anything that we intake, we kind of holds on to it. And then the less food you eat, the more weight you gain, or you won't lose any. People don't know that.
Yep. So in order to really be healthy, you're supposed to eat like 4 times a day.
4 to 6
times a day.
Mm-hmm.
And you
because it boosts your metabolism. It kind of gives you the energy that you need. And so like, even if it's a snack or whatever, but I'm not really disciplined, you know what I'm saying, in that area. So an accountability partner is really important for me, because I have to get somebody. They might get on my nerves, but it's somebody that's there, that's doing it for, you know, a positive reason. You know what I'm saying? To help.
Right.
So yeah.
And yeah, you could join us anytime, because actually Planet Fitness, they had, so the gym I used to go to before, and that's another thing, was convenient. It's literally.
Yeah, I got a membership at Planet Fitness. I've been paying Planet Fitness for 3 years.
Girl, you better start using it. And see, I was going to the gym around the corner from me, Anytime Fitness, because it's 24 hours, but I was paying close to 40. And as a small business owner, I have to count every penny. And so I'm like, if I can cut that and go for $10 a month, you know, the hours may be a little different. It's a little further from my house, but if I really want to do this, it doesn't matter where it's at. I'm going to have to sacrifice and drive a little further than, you know, to save $20, $30 almost a month, you know, and it's working for me. And then like with Leadra's, is close to her home. And my sister's at Planet Fitness, it's just on Bobby Jones. And so there are multiple, you know, ones. And so you just really have to figure out what's going to work for you. Devise a plan and stick to it. You know, we plan out everything else. We plan out our trips. We plan out, you know, where we going for the new year. We plan out, you know, our work schedules. We plan out so many things, but we don't plan our health. We don't plan our exercise. We don't plan really our me time, which self-care encompasses all of those things when you think about it, because I want to live a long time. Daily, I pray and I tell God, I want another 50 plus 1 year. So I'm 51 now. That means I want to be here at least until I'm 102. So, but I have to do my part. I can't ask him to give me all these extra years and then I'm not taking care of my body. I'm not taking care of, you know, what I need to. So, you know, we have a part to play. And it is a mind thing, you know, when you think about your brain is trained. The other day, so our gym literally is like a few doors down from Wingstop. So we walk out of the gym one day and I'm like, God, dog, that Wingstop.
Yes, the devil.
And it was like the devil.
That's the devil with an A.
It was such, when I tell you I had to do all I can to hurry to get to my car so I didn't be tempted to go and get me some wings, some lemon pepper wings. Man, listen, it is really a mind over matter. Like, I'm like, Tonia, them rolls on your stomach got to go. You know, that fat face got to go. Like, and them wings is not going to help you. So I need to get in that car, get you home, and get you something healthy to eat. And
well, bake them instead of frying them.
Huh?
Now you know that don't taste the same, Javon. Listen now. They
do. Listen to me. You can oven fry. Listen, they do. They work. It works. And I cooks. You can bake them, but you know, baste them with like a olive oil and put them in the oven a little bit. It creates a crisp for them. And then you do your lemon pepper season. It's good. I'm telling you.
Tonia, you try first. Let me know how it tastes.
But you know what? I use my air fryer a lot. That is really a lifesaver, the air fryer. Because if I spray it with olive oil and then I season it real good, it does give it a crisp and a crunch. And so I've done it in the air fryer. I haven't tried it in the oven yet.
Well, so even with the air fryer, since you have one, the air fryer works. It does. It helps with that.
Yeah.
I was doing it before they started.
Somebody has one and don't know how to use it.
Before they started allowing air fryers in our community.
You said before they started allowing air fryers in our community?
You know, the thing's been out a long time ago. We just getting access.
We just learning about it, right? But again, that goes back to what we were saying. It's not designed for us.
That's right.
It's not.
So we done found, they be like, dang it, how they done found out about it? So has anybody else made a commitment to their health after the holidays and as we journey into this new year of 20 and 22? Is anybody else on a healthy journey? Me. I want to give you guys opportunity. Stacey?
Me.
Okay.
With me this year, like Lidra, every year I have on my vision board to lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. This year, hang the weight. It's not about the weight. It's about being able to move my entire body, have full range of motion and not be in pain. So my gauge is going to be when I can walk and not limp, or I can bend and get back up without pain. I started off on January 1st, I went to the gym just to weigh myself to see where I was at. That number, y'all, when I tell you it hurt my feelings and my soul, I have never in my entire life been that heavy. But that's okay because it's not that number, it's movement. With me, I always listen to Mr. Bros, who's my counselor, and he says progress, not perfection. I don't want to start out the gate like a racehorse because you will get burnt out. Making small changes every day for me is what's going to keep me consistent because I've lost weight before. I was at fat camp. For you guys that don't know, it's Biggest Loser. I was on the TV show, lost all kinds of weight and was stupid fine, but it wasn't a sustainable way to lose weight and keep it off because there was a lot of restriction. It has to be a lifestyle that you can maintain. And for me, I can be like Caine in Kung Fu and walk all over the earth. So for me, it's walking, it's lifting weights every other day, it's cutting out a little bit less, not completely. And also what helped me is those of you that have insurance, go to your doctors and get food allergy tests because that's going to help you more than anything you're cutting out or adding in or restricting. If you don't know what is causing your body inflammation or pain or even bloating, that's half the battle. I just got my results back kind of today and I want to go get a more in-depth one. But if you can, go get a food allergy test, but also a mineral and vitamin test to see if you're deficient, if you're sustainable, or if you are just kind of on the fence. That's going to help me a lot. So those are the things that I'm starting with this year. And believe it or not, trying to get sleep, because sleep is a huge part. We run ourselves into the ground and stress keeps on weight. That's a fun fact that people don't know. Why do you think people that have money are skinnier? Because they can afford to eat healthy, but they also are not stressed about the basics like most people that are brown and black are, or that are we'll say underfunded. That's half the battle. If we can cut out or eliminate as much stress as possible, that's also going to be contributing to our health. It's not just about losing weight, it's about all the stresses that we get on the external basis. So those are the little things that I'm trying to do this year. Cut out as much stress as I can, doing what I can with what I have. I like walking because it's free and you're getting outside, which means you're getting vitamin D, but also you're getting in nature. Sometimes I just need to be reminded that God is big enough. You know what I mean? When you see this huge obstacle of, I have to lose X, Y, Z amount. No, if God can create all this, then we're going to do this. So don't overwhelm yourself being a racehorse out the gate. Just slow and steady, because I always remind myself the last time I checked, the turtle won the race. And like me, I want to lose 50 pounds in a month. You know what I mean? We are unrealistic, but we're so used to those. I love HGTV, so I always watch those makeover shows, and in 30 minutes, bam, you go from this jacked up house to a new house. In reality, that was 6 or 7 months. So I have to train myself to think slow and steady instead of instant, because you do get discouraged when you don't see instant results. But sometimes you won't. Keep doing what you're doing. That's all I got.
Thank you for sharing that. So yeah, Stacy, she's been there, done that from a weight loss perspective. Like she says, a lot of people didn't know she has been on The Biggest Loser. She lost, she went from a size 26 to a size 14. And that, it creates another challenge. It becomes a mental thing, because when you're so used to being a certain size, a certain weight, your brain hasn't caught up to the physical outside. And so that adds another layer to this whole health journey. And so you really have to, like she said, take it slow, be slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. but it's also a lot of intention. And stress does cause weight gain or cause you to hold on to weight. And sleep. Sleep is very important. I know sleep for me is a problem because my brain doesn't shut off. When I lay down in the bed, I literally have to try to think of something, just one thing, so that I could just focus to be able to go to sleep. And typically, I don't go to bed until like after midnight. Like it's just habit. And then my alarm clock goes off at 7:15. Now I may lay back down and roll over, but I know I have to get my sleep patterns back up to where they need to be, closer to 8 hours versus the 5 to 6, just from a health perspective. And the older you get, you need your beauty rest. I know I do. Because I don't want to be old. I don't want to have a lot of bags. A couple of weeks ago, I was looking at my eyes and it seemed like I had black stuff behind. I was like, oh, no, we can't do this. I can't. Yeah. So those are all a big part of that. Is anybody else on a health journey that wants to share anything?
So part of the health journey, I haven't really started mine, but one of the things that I do know is that companionship, and I'm talking about a life partner, is important. And I know that sounds crazy, but y'all, it is. And it's important. I'm talking about a healthy life partner, not just, I'm talking about a mind, body, spirit, soul, personality, everything about them, needs to be right. And I'm not saying perfect, but I'm saying, that's important. You need somebody to just, digress. You need somebody to talk to. When you get home from work, we have our siblings, we have our children, and everybody, every time I say this, everybody's like, girl, you got your sons. First of all, my sons don't have what I need. That's number one. So let's be clear.
Right.
But honestly, though, but sometimes you just want to be able to, because that all falls in that, like what Stacey was saying, it's just like, do your part, but be steady and take your time, do it slowly. But in addition to that is just adding that, companionship piece. Even if it's just somebody like, listen, I just need to talk, because stress is a killer, especially for us as women.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. And so we harbor a lot of stress too. And so it results in our midsection, what we're eating. It alters our sleep pattern, like, Tonia was talking about. It alters our sleep pattern. And like, we get headaches and we're thinking, we having a sinus issue, when in all actuality, your whole body is intense and is stressed.
Yeah.
Another thing, while y'all going to the gym, before you do it again, you need to get with a chiropractor and let them put your body back in alignment. That's another thing too. And I'm going to see mine this week because I do need to start my health journey. So red meat, I cut that out already. But all the other things that's added, I need to start going to the gym, using my membership that I've been paying for 3 years.
That's right.
And literally. But I appreciate this talk, because I'm looking like, okay, I really haven't been, and I think my primary focus I think my primary focus has been like on the business, law school, and all those different things too. And that's another thing too. And then we'll just keep saying, I just don't have time. I just don't have time. And then I find myself like, okay, well, I didn't even touch my books to read today for law school. So I could have went to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. And so,
or you can take your books to the gym and read it while you're on the treadmill.
And that, I didn't even think about that, but that is true. You know what I'm saying? Or something, or listen to something, you know what I'm saying? Listen to a reading, because they have it online. You can listen to the audio version. But yeah, the chiropractor, you guys really look into that seriously, because sometimes our body, like we get headaches and everything, and because of weight that's on us. I mean, even if you don't have weight, your body can be out of alignment. And so once you get through, then they can tell you, like, if you have, like, they'll ask you certain things like, do you have acid reflux, or do you have problems with this? Because they can tell. The chiropractor can, which is crazy.
Wow. Right.
And that, yeah. So, and then other things, Stacey, thanks for sharing about the food allergy test. I didn't think about that. That does make a difference, in consumption. And like, for me, the part I don't need an allergy test with is salt. I know salt is bad for me, but I crave it. You know what I'm saying?
Me
I don't
too.
have to have I don't have to have sweets, but
I have to have salt.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and if I eat something sweet, I have to curve it with something salty.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I don't know, y'all. It's just it's a lot of things in this that's very informative, and just that chiropractic is a big deal. Like,
Yep.
serious that. So I'm definitely gonna look into it. Thanks, Stacy. Again, I am gonna look into the food allergy test. You
Right.
know,
And they have different kinds. The most accurate and the more detailed is the blood one, where basically they I hope y'all don't like are averse to needles because they kind of poke you to see what's what.
yeah.
But you can get on your back. They also have a blood one, and then they have a hair one. The one where they stick you to kind of test is the most accurate one. But if you just can't do it, the blood one's probably second, and then the hair is probably third.
Okay. So the blood one, is it basically like them even like figuring out through your blood type as well? Are they,
They
you
do
know?
your based on that one. They do your blood type, but also your blood has, oh, okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of, I don't know the science behind it, but they test out different foods and different minerals and different vitamins, and they also can tell by your blood if you're deficient, because a lot of us, especially African American women, are anemic because we're iron deficient, and vitamin D is probably our second one. I got my
And
results today, and I was like, dang it, calcium is
yeah,
low. And I'm like, come on. And vitamin B12 and the Bs are always something that messes us up as African American women specifically. So they break down, you have to request the additional of the mineral and vitamins, but the allergies and the foods, those are a given. And then you just kind of add on to them.
okay. And with vitamin D and like B12. So here's the thing. I thought maybe my B12 was low. My B12 was fine. But where I was lacking energy was because I'm vitamin D deficient.
Yep.
So like me, I have to take 50,000 units of vitamin D weekly.
Mm-hmm.
And what we have to do is we have to really, really be careful. And that is right, Stacy, in making sure that we get that screening. And the reason being is because a vitamin D deficiency can lead to colon cancer.
Yep.
And so that's something that's serious. So I don't care if it's going in the sun, taking the supplement, I have a whole prescription. Like I pick it up, you know what I'm saying? I have to take it like capsule a week, 50,000 units. And insurance pays for it.
Yep.
But some of them, it depends on the unit amount. I think if it gets over a certain amount of units, it'll pay for it. And then if not, then if they figure the amount that you're taking can be, is considered over the counter, then I guess whatever your supplemental insurance is for your like pharmacy stuff, then it'll cover that. But yeah, that's a real thing. That vitamin D thing, like in our ages right now, is vital. You know what I'm saying? Because you're fatigued, you're tired, and you're trying to figure it out. But honestly, when I started taking, when my doctor first did it, because I go, the month of March is my month. I do everything in the month of March. That's my birthday month. So I have my mammogram in March. I have my PAP in March. I do a full physical in March. And that's when I found out about the vitamin D deficiency. And she was like, whoa, you're really low. You're really, really low. She's like dangerously low. And so that's when I had to start. So I don't have any regrets, but the moment I started taking it, I started seeing why I started to perk up more. I wasn't tired during the day. I was alert. Sometimes like I could be sitting in my office and be looking confused and they talking to me and I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because you speak like that and just tired, like your body, your brain will not allow you to just function properly. Like seriously. So I'm like, so all of that, like, wow, thanks. I definitely gonna contact my doctor and find out about, I guess, getting the food allergy thing. But I do know that I'm deficient in, with vitamin D. But yeah, y'all, we just got to take care of ourselves because I want to be fine when I'm 60. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Listen, I'm trying to be like Angela Bassett up in here.
Listen, could I have fun?
Miriam with her bikini. Come on, ma'am.
So I mean, it's a process of elimination.
Yes, it is. And it's learning and it's sharing information like this because we don't know what we don't know. And when you know better, you can do better. And so information sharing is very important, which is why this platform exists. One of the reasons, just to share, to encourage, to engage, to empower. We have a new guest with us, Miss Anitra Brown. Thank you for joining us, Miss Anitra. I hope tonight has been good and helpful.
Thank you. It has. I hate I was late, but
Oh, you weren't that late. You're good.
Thank you.
Is there anything you want to share about a health journey or any health tips or anything you may think that the folks on that may need to know, or for those that'll watch this later?
As far as tips, no, you guys definitely hit on some good ones that I have been reading about. My goals are similar to you guys. Managing my weight, but focusing more so on my health and not getting caught up on the weight, the number on the scale. So hopefully I'm gonna keep tuning into this, and hopefully it'll be some encouragement, because I need that accountability, definitely.
Well, hey, we are here for it. So if there's anything we could do, we have the Facebook page. I have an email blast that I send out to people who, want to be a part of the email list. And we just try to hold each other accountable. We check in from time to time with folks. Anytime I get a bit of information, I'm constantly sharing. And so you can join us, be accountable with us, however you like to do it. We love to try to help each other, because that's what it's all about. We can't do this alone. This is a journey. It's really a journey. And sometimes you need partners. My sister likes to say partners in crime or partners in good, whichever one you want to choose, because that helps you stay motivated. That helps you stay encouraged. That helps you want to, go hard and do what you need to do, and it's a mind thing. It's mind over matter. It's a matter of making up your mind and then deciding to stick to whatever plan, whatever regimen, whatever, thing that you decide to put together, because it's a holistic thing. When I think of health, it's not just weight, it's not just, sleep, it's holistic from a perspective from a woman who has to feel like we are super women, because we have to care for so many people. We have to do so many things. And then at the end of the day, we've neglected ourselves, and that's no good for anybody. So this journey is more about us being who we need to be for ourselves, but also for others, in order to continue doing the things that we've been doing, being mothers, being sisters, being wives, being employees, being employers, whatever our roles in life are, there's this holistic piece to it. And so the health is a part of it. So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Get on that health. LaWanda, is there anything you want to do? Because LaWanda, you've been on a journey as well. Do you want to share?
This journey is called stress. I don't barely eat. Anybody know I don't eat like that. Coffee is my best friend. I'm to 5 cups a day. I have that before I have some food.
Wow.
I'm a breakfast person. And then stress, plays a big part of this. But when I first moved to Georgia, I was almost 400. Since I've been working my job. No, for real. But since I started working my 2 jobs, I'm down to 245. So that's just, I barely eat. I coffee, water.
But that's still not healthy. It's not healthy.
Walking up and down that airport, jumping out of them vans at Amazon, sweating. I just started back eating like fish. I shop at Trader Joe's. I know I heard y'all like that.
Yeah, my sister loves Trader Joe's. I've never shopped there.
I'm always at Trader Joe's. I'm always at Whole Foods. And here in Charlotte, on every corner is something healthy.
Yep.
So I'm always trying. It's probably about 20 different salad places in one spot. So I'm always trying something and buying
That's
something.
what happens when you're in civilization.
What you say?
She said, what did you say?
I said, that's what happens when you live in civilization.
When you live in civilization.
When you live.
So it's something always, I'm always trying something.
But you got to find that balance.
I do a lot of walking at work, with the airport, walking up and down them stairs and Yeah. It
Yeah.
played a role in my life.
But you still have to find balance where it's still healthy for you, because you don't want to.
But ain't nothing healthy at CLT Airport, because in CLT Airport, I don't know if y'all been in there. It's about five Starbucks inside of there.
Yeah.
Every concourse has a Starbucks.
Yeah.
A burger joint. It's about 4 or 5 burger joints. Burger King, Chick-fil-A, but I don't go on the other side, so I don't touch it because water and coffee is my best friend.
Yeah.
They have a
Steps daily.
there, and they also have a Einstein bagels. Those are your best bets.
There you go.
And Javonda, what was your question?
I was asking, do you guys count your steps too?
I don't.
Oh, I do. I got my Apple Watch. I'll be like, it be beeping like, oh, you're doing too much. Slow down.
No, I don't count my steps.
Well,
But
you know,
I used to take vitamin D, vitamin B, and all that, but I had to stop taking them because it was too much in my body.
and
too
that's
much.
possible.
Yeah, it was too much in my body. My doctor was like, you need to come off of that for like at least good 6 months, because I was like really overdoing it. Even I had to stop drinking less water. Like I was drinking gallons of water a day.
That's true, because
It was making me sick. So I was nothing. So
your urine is not supposed to be clear like the toilet water.
It was clear. It was clear.
Yeah, it's supposed to have a yellow tint because it's urine.
Yeah.
So I mean, of course, I know it sounds crazy that it ain't supposed to be orange, y'all. You need to get that blood sugar checked if it is.
Yeah, no, it should not be. You know,
But it should have a very light yellow tint to it because it's urine, and so you need to make sure the body is excreting like the toxins or whatever, and that you're not, because when it's very clear, like you can't decipher between your urine and the toilet water, you're overhydrated, which is very dangerous for our cells, and you can go on cardiac arrest.
Oh wow! So I need to try to check mine, because I've been drinking too much water evidently.
Just what everybody says, like, oh, a gallon for everybody. It may not be for you.
It may not be for you.
Before, and I got my butt chewed out by Dr. H, who's a specialist. He was like, no, ma'am, especially for African Americans. You guys want to hear a fun fact? So we maintain and retain body fat, and we're more dense than all the other races when it comes to women. So our weight, at my smallest, I was 193 pounds, but I was a size 12, 14. That's the size of a linebacker. Dude, that's basically 200 pounds. But on me, if I would have been smaller, I looked like a crackhead. Do you know what I mean? So we can't go by the scale either, or by what the height and weight charts are, because those are bumped too. We have to go by individual bodies. Yeah. So you can't just have a blanket of health. That's what messes us up.
Makes sense.
And if we can channel certain things, like, first of all, the pharmaceutical industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Okay. And they would rather treat than cure.
Yes.
And believe me, they have cures for doggone near everything.
Yes.
But because it brings in is such a lucrative business, they'll rather us continue to be on medication. So with that, that's why it's important for us to take a more holistic, absolutely, Stacey, a more holistic approach when it comes to our health. And you know what I'm saying? Because like for me, if anybody that knows me, I despise taking medication.
Yeah, we don't take medicine over here either like that. Yeah,
I despise it. And I remember I haven't been on blood pressure medication, and this is going into 8 years, actually going into 9. And I remember when I was coming off of it, I bottomed out because I was taking it, but my blood pressure is triggered through stress and salt and like what I'm eating. So once my doctor told me that, I was like, okay, what do I need to cut out, and like I eliminated that stress level. I just, if it, you know what I'm saying? Cause you don't want to have a stroke, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, and this is possible for us. But, and then my salt, I had to just kind of cut it down. It's difficult and it's weird because some people are like, how in the world you crave salt like that? I crave it. I'm not talking about just pouring no salt out the box into my hand. It's not like that. It's like something I'm eating. Like I crave it. Yeah. Like I love Starbucks, but I would rather go get a pretzel with salt on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what
And
I'm
that's
saying?
me.
Because
I crave salt.
Yeah, I'm not a
Right.
salt eater.
and,
I'm a
you
huge
know,
salt
so
eater.
yeah, I'm a big salt eater and it's terrible. And like bread, guys, y'all, bread is terrible for us. Bread is, and I am addicted. You hear me? Like I
You and
will eat. Let me
Lidra.
tell you something.
Yeah, I'm like
I
Lisa with
love
that
bread.
Logan's bread.
Listen, like I love it. I love it. And it's like I've always been a bread eater. Like, y'all, I would eat. I don't know if y'all like raisin bread. I love raisin bread.
Girl.
No.
No.
So,
Yes,
so
with some toasted and some butter, Lord.
girl, with some butter, and or I don't even have to toast it. I can eat it out of the bag. And I would be eating it out of the bag, y'all. I just like the
Yes.
cinnamon raisin taste. It's so good, honey.
Yeah.
Listen, but I would literally, this is like no lie, I would be eating it like slice by slice out of the bag. And so my doctor said, "You're doing what?" And I was like, "Listen, don't sound like that. I can't help it." So she told me, she was like, "Listen, okay, I'm not going to get on you too hard, but I do want you to do better." She said, "I want you to, if you're eating 4 slices a day, I want you to cut it down to 2
Wow.
and gradually wean yourself off." She said,
Yeah.
"Because that's too much, that's too many carbs,
Yeah.
you know, bread alone." So
Yeah.
we it's a lot that we have to do, but y'all, I think once you create the habit,
Mhm.
and you know, we're not always motivated. This is just words of
Mhm.
encouragement. This is just anything in life. It doesn't necessarily
Mhm.
mean our health approach or our
Mhm.
weight or anything like that. We're not always motivated in life, but discipline teaches us that you got to do it.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? If you want to live, this is what has to happen. And
That's right.
so I think we're all at that age right now where we're like, yeah, I want to live. You know, I
That's
want to
right.
see my grandchildren
That's
grown.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And they have, you know, and I want my sons, I want to see when they get married, different things like that. So and then a lot of foods that we eat helps if you're still menstruating. It helps with cramps and certain things that we shouldn't eat. You know what I'm saying? To cut back on the menstrual cramps and all of those things like that. Even just our normal flow, just vaginal health. Hey, that's another topic. We should talk about vaginal health.
Okay. We can do it. We can and bring you on.
Like seriously, because a lot of
Yeah, I'm
like
with it.
seriously, because people don't know that that's vital. Like what we're eating has a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So
Yeah,
water
yeah.
is vital too, y'all, for vaginal health.
Yeah. Yeah, we
You
can
know what
do
I'm
that.
saying? So, but yeah, I just thought about it when I was talking about it. But definitely, just be encouraged, ladies. And I might call on y'all. I ain't no might. I will be, because I just need that motivation piece, that motivational
Yeah.
piece,
Yeah.
the discipline, and just create that discipline. You know, for myself, is
And I
really
think
important because I lacked some in some areas.
in this new year, one of my goals for Tuesday Talks is really to have more in-person things as we can, as it relates to things that people may not want to do by themselves. Go to the gym, go to the, park, do things that'll help us motivate one another, because again, it's always good to have somebody come alongside you and do these things. And if I don't leave anything else with you, I want to leave this. So my pastor for years preached this, and one day it finally clicked. He has these isms, and one of his isms is start where you are, use what you have, do all you can, and leave the results to God. And it sounds simple, but really when you think about it, it's like, wow, I that's one of my mantras. I may not have all the money I need to eat healthy, but I'm gonna start where I am. I may not know all the things I need to know, but I'm gonna use what I have, whatever tools I have. And I'm gonna do all that I can on my end, and then I'm gonna trust God with the rest. And so that's one of the things that I do, try to implement into my everyday life, into my health journey, into my life journey, into my, relational journey, and anything that I'm doing, I try to implement that. Start where I am, use what I have, do all I can, and leave the results to God. So ladies, tonight has been awesome. I've enjoyed this conversation. It has been a blessing. It has been revelatory. I've learned a lot of stuff, and I strive every day to learn something new. And so I've learned a ton today, especially as it becomes, more apparent that the older we get, we have to be more mindful and intentional with the choices that we make as it relates to our body, our health. But even, from being African American women, all of us on here are today. And so, really, like Stacey said, what works for everybody doesn't necessarily work for us. And so we have to know those things.
Mhm.
Well, ladies, I want you guys to have a terrific rest of your Tuesday. Have a great week on purpose. Do something good for somebody on purpose, mainly for yourself. It's all about self-care. We're pushing self-care this year. We're pushing self-worth, self-awareness, all of that stuff. I'm here for all of that this year, 2022.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's get it.
All right, let's do it, y'all. Let's do it. We'll see y'all back in 2 weeks for another session. Next week will be our Fashion Tips Tuesday, where we join with Miss Lolo of House of Style Boutique, who now she's a House of Style showroom. So she's moved to her new location. She's no longer a store that you can walk in. You have to make an appointment at the boutique, at the showroom, which is now on Wheeler Road. So we'll be live there next week for our Fashion Tip Tuesday. So maybe y'all can join us then.
All right.
All right.
All right, y'all have a good night. Thank you all.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. You too.